Okay, hello Simone. Thank you so much for your time and meeting with us today for the INSEAD Healthcare Club. We know you have launched a newsletter regarding longevity, and we're very excited to be able to talk with you about this subject. So,
Thank
um,
you, Linda. Thank you for having me and for reaching me to talk about longevity, which is my passion.
yeah, I know. It was such a pleasure, reading everything you've been publishing and, your actions regarding this subject. So the first question would be about where does this passion for longevity stems from?
Hey, it's a long answer. If we have 3 hours, I'm gonna try to answer to your question. But it's let me mention to you, Linda, the mission of the clinic, which is helping and inspiring people to live a longer, healthier, and better life. And how can you not be passionate by a mission like this, right? So I think we should love whatever we do, whatever is our job, we should put all our heart into it and the passion. But when we have also a job which is about sharing something which is good and helping other people, I think is the greatest gift. We have the chance in Clinique La Prairie to be. We like to say that we call ourselves life changer. And when you have a client which is leaving the clinic and is saying, "You changed my life," I think it's the greatest satisfaction ever. So,
Yes. Okay.
plus, let me add a point. So maybe your listener, they can now connect the dot. It's an incredible mix. If you take in general longevity between well-being, lifestyle, science, medicine, and very advanced science today, as you know, the new technology on longevity are very advanced. If you take our business, there is also the luxury part in it. So I think it's an interjection of very interesting business.
Yes, I love that you are bringing that up because in our first chat, you told me the first thing was like, Linda, longevity can be so simple, and longevity is a simple thing. What are the action that you're promoting both at La Clinique and your daily life to be able to,
Sure.
foster longevity?
Sure, sure. Because that's very true what you say. We always tend to talk about strategies, what we should do. But majority of the people, they know that they should eat salad and walk, but why they don't do it? So when somebody is coming to a place like us, there is a strong diagnostic part, which today is very sophisticated in longevity, and is the first step of a longevity process. Then there is the intervention, there is the follow-up, but at the end, people, they need to live with a change in their behavior, in their habits, because of course, longevity is something which is working in the long term, even with the technology that we have today.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit more about such technology or the habits
Sure.
you try to, you know, pass on to your clients at La Clinique?
Yes. So let me come back again. I think it's very, there is a lot of confusion about what is longevity, what we do in a longevity clinic. That's why I decided I think the second or the third newsletter, it's what we do in a longevity clinic. There is a kind of mystery around potion, magic potion. It's in reality, there is nothing magic. So I come back to the process, 3-step diagnostic.
Yeah.
And if you look at all the latest development in longevity, the majority of the development came on the diagnostic part.
Yeah.
So today you have genetic, epigenetic, you have artificial intelligence. You have probably a lot of your listeners, they know that now when you do a scan or a radiology, there is already a tool related to artificial intelligence, which is scanning thousands of images. We have now very sophisticated tests called glycans, metabolomics. The point of diagnostic is, of course, you have two objectives. The first one is to understand your overall health, of course, and to set to set the baseline, but also understanding the way your body works.
Yeah.
Superficially, we are all the same. In reality, we are very different. So I always make the example of the coffee or the movement. When you do a detox and you tell to the people you should stop coffee, it's not correct. There is a genetic test which is telling you if you are able to integrate coffee or not. There is a genetic test which is telling you if your body is, let's say, built in a way that when you move, you lose weight or not. these are simple examples, but to make you understand that when you go to the second step, which is the intervention, it's very important that you have done a very deep diagnostic. And the intervention is the second step. For us, is split into 4 pillars. Our 4 pillars: medical, nutrition, well-being, and movement. So imagine when you stay here 1 week, you have doctors, we have 50 doctors here, therapist, nutritionist, coach, which are telling you the best strategies into these 4 pillars. And then you see if the intervention is working and you restart this process.
Okay. And how long does it last? Do you need to stay a week? Is it longer? Yeah.
In our case, you need to stay a week. The reason why I know that you know what we are doing, and I'm very grateful that you are following us. The reason why we decided to do Longevity Hub, which are urban clinic, we have already 5. The last one in Dubai is amazing. If some of your listeners has the chance to go there, is in one and only 4,000 square meters. But the problem is to follow the client. So my dream is to have 40 Longevity Hub, because when you leave our clinics and you go back to New York, to Dubai, you have somebody with the same philosophy of CLP, which is helping you to stick to the new behavior. Because otherwise you have the risk, is exactly what you were mentioning, that you think, okay, you know what, I go 1 week per year to Clinique La Prairie and then I do whatever I want the rest of the year. It's not like this, doesn't work like this. So we are creating this health ecosystem which wants to put together and to have the client at the center and to be sure that the client is, vous dites en français, enrobé. No?
We do.
There is no word in English or in Italian which is as beautiful as enrobé. I don't know how we can translate it in English, but it's wrap, to wrap the client.
Yes.
Exactly. And this is what we want to do.
Yes, that sounds so good. You know, I was in the Middle East a few weeks back, I told you, and I saw everything you've been doing. I know you have a huge focus there. You're launching in Dubai, but you're also launching soonish in Riyadh, if I'm correct. Yes.
Yeah, this is the project. Is not, if you want, it's not yet official or finalized, but we have this big project in Amala, which is on the Red Sea. So it's a big clinic. It's the biggest project ever done in longevity.
Yes.
And I think it would be very nice to have also a clinic in Riyadh, a urban clinic in Riyadh, to connect, to make this connection that I was mentioning to you.
I love that you say, you know, you make a difference with urban clinics. So what does it, you know, what do you feel is the difference between regular clinics and maybe what you do in Switzerland, you know, in the countryside, in a very remote place, and the whole urban dimension?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because in fact, when you see it from outside, could look similar. In reality, you know, think about Montreux. In Montreux, you have 50 doctors, over 30 practice. You have a full radiology, which, as you can imagine, is a big investment. And also in terms of regulation, it's very complicated. You need to have the latest machine. We're talking about machine that cost millions. So it's clear that you cannot replicate what you do in a full clinic in each of the Longevity Hub. So you still have a very important medical part.
Yeah.
But you cannot do everything that you do in a clinic in a longevity. The longevity clinic, we call it Longevity Hub by Clinique La Prairie, is more a way to follow up. And you should come 1 week every year to make the full program. Yeah. And then do the follow-up in the urban clinic.
Okay, that's how it has been thought. Thank you so much. I know you've been thinking, you know, about how to make sure to reach as many people as possible. You want it to be something that's ubiquitous. You've told me that you are launching a fund to invest in new techs. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes. By the way, you know, we launched it in Dubai 2 weeks ago, so it's very recent. But in fact, the idea, Linda, the idea of the fund goes back to almost 8 years ago when I started in the clinic. Because when we designed this ecosystem, there was the big resort like Montreux, there were the longevity clinic. As you know, we have a line of supplement, which is called Holistic Health, yes. Which we invented basically a new category, which is today I decided to call at the time longevity supplement. But you know, when I launched, the most expensive supplement was around $150. We launched our supplement position very high because we wanted to have the best quality, no compromise in terms of production. And then we decided to have a different strategy in terms of distribution for our supplement, to go into department store, to have a one-to-one relationship with the client.
Yeah.
And the last missing, why I'm telling you all of this, because what is feeding this ecosystem, the clinic, is innovation.
Yeah.
So my question was, how can I be really a relevant player in the innovation space, where, as you know, you have the big pharma, you have the big nutrition company like Nestlé, for example. So my question was, how can I be relevant? And I wanted already at that time to have a fund, to have an investment capacity to be able to be relevant when I scout innovation. And I lost a lot of good opportunities in the last year, because, you know, when you have a super innovation, these people, they don't stay with us. We are too small. They go to the big one. And there is somebody who's putting 50 million on the table, and they say, sorry, Mr. Gibertoni, we have to go with the big one. So I wanted to have this fund, and I met this gentleman, which is called Stefan Catsicas, which is now is the co-chair of our investment fund with me. And we decided to start this new venture. We are very excited. We are at the starting block, but we are very excited because we think that we have a unique vision on longevity, and we think that with the fund we can do a lot on this in this space.
Okay, that's wonderful. You know, at INSEAD we think a lot about, you know, the ways to invest, and we have had quite a few talks about things related to age tech and beauty tech. So yeah, completely aligned with. Okay, so now you've told me about this venture, but do you still have new ideas, new ventures that you would like to explore beyond?
You know, my people are telling me I have too many ideas and I should have less. So now I'm trying to. But you know, the ideas now, I think we are I have to tell you, when we started this process, was 2018, 19. Everybody was telling us it's impossible that you're able to build clinics, to build labs, you are too small. We are doing it. So now it's a question of being consistent, because like in all the business, you know, it's like, you know, in hospitality business, you don't see it sometimes, but even the big player which are opening hotel, they have some hotels that are working, some that are working a little bit less. The longevity is from outside a very big market. Inside is a very small market. Why I'm telling you this? Because the people which are ready to invest a lot of money and a lot of time for serious longevity are still quite small.
Yeah.
People sometimes they said, okay, let's go to this place because I can do some massage in the morning, maybe a blood test, but this is not longevity. So it's still a small market, which we believe is going to grow a lot. So we are at the beginning of this journey, and I think, you know, we have to open still a lot of apps. We have to develop our brand of supplement. We have to develop our clinics. We just opened a big clinic in China. Yeah. So there is a lot to do now inside our ecosystem.
Yeah, and now that you're talking about different type of geographies, do you feel there's a very different approach when it comes to longevity regarding the different type of clientele that you're welcoming in your different clinics?
Listen, very interesting question. If you would have asked me this question 8 years ago, I would have told you that there is basically a matrix, Linda, which is age and country. So if you take a young person from US has different need compared to an old person from US, of course. But if you take a young person from US and the old person from China, there is an even bigger difference in terms of the need. Yeah. I have to tell you that today, after 8 years, the difference are less and less. Why? Because then if you want, I can elaborate more on this, but there has been in the last, especially 3 or 4 years, a process where the knowledge of longevity is much more spread.
Okay.
Unfortunately, as you know, COVID was very bad, but one thing COVID did, it was to make our people understand the importance of taking care of their health. And you were talking in 2018 about immune system. Nobody knew what it was, the immune system. Now, after COVID, everybody knows. So I think now the difference are much less. There are still difference. We have 3 category of clients.
Okay.
Sorry, that maybe are more useful than talking about countries. We call it the wellness seeker. So it's a client which is searching wellness, and while he's searching wellness, discover longevity.
Yes.
Then you have the clients like you, which we call longevity enthusiasts, which they know everything about longevity. So when they come here, they know more than us. And then we have the last category of client is the client that is approaching longevity because of a problem. So when you are 50 and you have like, for example, a problem, cardiovascular problem, at this point you wake up and you say, oh my God, I need to take care of my health. And these are the clients that wants more really medical type of technology. But these are our three category of clients. You can put more or less 80% of our clients in these three categories. And this is also for us useful to understand the need, because, you know, if you're the wellness seeker that doesn't know anything about longevity or the longevity enthusiast, when you sit with these two people, you have to talk in a very different way.
Yes.
No, if you want to be of value, no,
Okay.
because the one that knows already everything, you cannot tell them you should eat more vegetable. They know already, and maybe you need to go into the testing, why is important, etc. The wellness seeker needs to start into the journey.
Yes. Okay, that's super interesting. Thank you so much. We're at the end of the year now when we're filming, and some of it will be posted, next year. People will be starting the year with new resolution and wanting to, work on their health. Do you have any advice or parting words for them?
With New Year resolution, we know that it never works, so let's not focus on New Year revolution. So New Year revolution, because the revolution never works, in fact. No, yes. I think, Linda, it's a very good question in the sense, the point is how you integrate in your routine something which is related to longevity. So the point is create a space in your day, can be half an hour, can be 1 hour, and you stick to it. I think the best way to do it is early in the morning, very early in the morning. Every time I say to myself, okay, today I want to sleep a little bit more, I'm going to do my routine in the evening. I end finishing in the office and not doing it. So my suggestion is to be in the morning. Personally, I think if you have 1 hour, there are things which are very important, like transcendental meditation, like yoga, of course, like weight also, it's very important, especially when you age. But again, the point is create a routine, and then there are a lot of today ways on how you can build a routine and stick to it as much as you can. Okay. There are supplements, of course, which are important. Supplements sometimes are there is a misunderstanding on supplement. Of course, you have supplement which are the most known that you have to take because you have a lack of something, a lack of vitamin D. But there are also today supplements which are there to enhance your health, no? Yes. Because we have today a lot of ingredients which are there to enhance your health. So I think it's a routine, and then going to a good longevity doctor, because in this case, when you talk about supplement, it's better to have a doctor which is suggesting you what to do.
Yes, that sounds very Italian, to have habits and a way of life that's compatible with, your values. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, I wish you a lovely day. Bye.
Thank you.